This is Kung Pao Enter the Minute, Minute 20. Opening frame. The Chosen One appears to be motioning towards the man in black to his right, and gives his stack of short planks to a student dressed in blue in front of him. Students off to the side seem mostly disinterested in the affair as the Chosen One braces himself for his attack, and after a flurry of maneuvers, he suddenly stops short of his target. As the man in black looks on quizzically, we get an extreme close-up of the Chosen One's fist, still not touching what we assume is his intended target. Suddenly, the Chosen One's index finger springs out and hits the wood. The resulting explosion atomizes most of the wooden planks and sent the student holding them in the air flying backwards. For this he receives a lot of applause from his audience. But this is not the only trick the Chosen One has up his sleeve, as we cut to him doing a Jack Palance, the student standing over him not entirely impressed, even when he starts doing a push-up with just a finger. As Master Tang proceeds to narrate over this training montage, the Chosen One starts doing push-ups with his entire body being lifted by one hand.
The Chosen One trained, for part of him knew what lied ahead.
Before finally levitating his entire body using purely his mouth. Not like that. We cut to some students practicing their spear striking techniques as the Chosen One flexes on some quite out of place exercise equipment before joining his fellow students for a meal. Master Tang informs us,
the others soon warmed up to him and his friend.
As we see what looks like to be a rather unfortunate for his fellow diners approach to eating a meal with Tungi. The Chosen One starts displaying his athletic skills in a wide shot, before he performs a backflip which sends him flying into the air and starts spinning on the spot for a really long time, even varying up his speeds somehow. As the Chosen One finally lands, he strikes the pose of someone from the Tiger School of Fighting, as Wimplo finally approaches him, seemingly unimpressed with the display he just witnessed. We cut to the closing frame, with Wimplo asking the Chosen One,
"Knock knock, who's there?"
his arms crossed over his chest, presumably to cover his milk duds. I apologize, I guess, if this sounds a little bit out of sorts. I'm testing out a new microphone. This is a Blue Yeti, so that means I am potentially a real podcaster now. We'll see. I might go back to the old setup. The Chosen One's powers are interesting. So, we've seen the Chosen One's fighting ability in previous minutes, or at least we've seen probably a small chunk of it. The Chosen One at this time, or at least in his adult life, has not really met a opponent he's been fairly matched with. It's possible we've not really seen him at his full potential, which is why, I guess, it's a good evolution. And we see the potential abilities, although he really doesn't, he doesn't exactly use his super breath in subsequent minutes. I'm not sure I even want to try and figure out just how much force it would take someone to be able to breathe to lift up an entire body the way he does. Again, this is an absurdist comedy movie. It's really not meant to be taken that seriously. I mean, I try to take the analysis kind of seriously. Tries being the word there. It's a comedy. You're supposed to have a laugh. These aren't supposed to be a real set of powers that the Chosen One used. This specifically is not a setup for a thing at the end. The Chosen One still has to find a way to defeat Master Pain, which does actually tie into what actually happens in the original movie, the triangles and the chest thing. That's literally the key, and I don't think, no matter how many blowings he does to him, it will actually affect anything. I think I touched about this on the previous minutes, but I want to talk a little bit more about the production design, because they do talk about this in this particular minute in the audio commentary. I will put some segments about that in the audio commentary section. But for what is essentially a rebuild of a real life of a real set. I mean, it was either built in the 70s for the movie or it was a real place. Steve Odekirk and Co. had to build this for Kung Pao. This was actually a lot of the shots were location shoots. I think they shot this in Mexico. So definitely not in China or Hong Kong or wherever the location of the original shoot was. And it's highly unlikely that they had architectural plans, so this has clearly had to be someone studying the original footage, probably did some height references, probably found Jimmy Wang Yu's height and tried to calculate it from there. But what I like about this, except for one shot, is that it's pretty seamless. I mean, okay, the majority of this is completely new. However, you wouldn't guess it for a lot of this. It's done so well. And again, this goes back to the sheer volume of effort this production put into what is essentially kind of a very silly film. And I'm not trying to be derogatory when I say this. I do love this film, but I will point it out. This is absurd. It is silly. This isn't trying to be taken as a Citizen Kane, although this probably could be the Citizen Kane of the dubbing genre. I cannot, for the life of me, think of anyone who's put this much time and effort into this style of comedy. And we get a lot of internet stuff. We've mentioned everything. I always love bringing up Ninja the Mission Force. I love Ninja the Mission Force. It was not done like Kung Pao. But either way, as I was talking about with Connor, the costumes and everything are amazing. The attention to detail is really good. And then you get the Bowflex. So, the piece of exercise equipment that the Chosen One is using is called a Bowflex. And I had struggled trying to find a mix and match for the model. I mean, Steve points out that it is a Bowflex. I believe it's his personal Bowflex, because, the dude got ripped for this particular minute, and I think that's one of the machines he actually ended up using. The funny thing is, this is a 1990s piece of exercise. It's very kind of niche, and it's all about tensioning. It's a tension powered machine. It's got those metal, I think they're spring steel bars or something, and and that's the point. Is you want to add more strength, you attach more bars. If you want to, you attach the strings to the pulleys, and that's where. I'm not an exercise person. If you've seen pictures of me, you'll know that I am your pretty prototypical fanboy looking person. I am overweight and I've got a beard and blah 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 blah. I'm not one of those. But, because I'm trying to fill some minutes, let's read a review of the one that seems to be possibly the one, not the one the model used in the movie, is the Bowflex Power Pro with leg extension attachment. Double your traffic. Product information model. Okay, that's really weirdly finished. The Bowflex Power Pro product information. Okay, that is really poorly laid out. Wow, this is really bad. Wow, okay. All Power Pro model, this unit is always well cared for from a smoke-free home and it is in great shape. 210 standard power rod package, rowing belt full rowing feature. Polyurethane bench sheet folds up and rolls for easy storage, including leg attachment, and all sets are in excellent condition, like new, only a few times to use this Bowflex straightening machine. That's a lot of comments with no spaces. No. It has everything you need for total body strength training and is in great working condition. The unit is fully loaded with strength training rods for resistance. The rods are covered by a lifetime warranty and can be flexed over 1 million times without wearing out. This is an incredible machine for busy people who don't have time to go to the gym. It is also much safer as there is no risk of dropping your weight on yourself. No spotter required. There are over 65 exercises possible with this configuration. Remove the bench and it is also a rowing machine for cardio training. This Bowflex? This Bowflex is also the most compact Bowflex model available, including its original manual showing all different exercises and how to do them with this machine. No form of exercise gives you faster results at shedding pounds and inches than strength training. It includes the Bowflex Power Extension Leg the Bowflex Power Pro Extension Leg original manual only accept payment with just confirmed really heavy only local. It's like there's a lot of short sentences and then a lot of long sentences with just some slight commas. Yeah, you kind of get the point. It's just an it's just a fancy exercise machine. It really is. I think for the movie they stripped out some of the functionality because you don't see, or at least you don't see any of the rowing attachments or the leg attachments. It's just, you just see what you get. It's basically the chosen one pulling the bar to bend the tension. Yeah, that's pretty much it. There's really not that much going on in this minute, except that it's just Steve Odekirk showing off his killer bod and just showing how absurd the chosen one is compared to everyone else, and especially as we're going to get the confrontation between the chosen one and Wimplo, which leads up to their big fight, which we'll talk about when we get there. It's not too far away. But I think that's all I've got for now. Anyway, let's move ahead to the audio commentary. So Paul gives a shout out to Hector Velez and Sean Madison, who are the production designers, and they let us know how long this footage was shot.
Now I shot that terribly. Those guys pointing the spears. What is that? It should have been somebody lifting weights. It should have been the weightlifting guy and then go over the Bowflex.
You're right. We shot all this in 8 days, so come on.
Yeah,
we did the whole movie in 8 days. So you are.
We really didn't have a very big budget. There's like 2,065 effect shots.
Because every shot had
dime.
to go in. We had to degrade every shot. We had to manipulate every shot.
So in the "What are they really saying?" section, well, okay, so there's no dialogue in this section at all, both in English or in Mandarin. This is majority new footage, but nobody's talking. So here's the chosen one, heavy breathing, I guess. So, because we've only got a little tiny bit of dialogue, here's what the audiobook says.
I'll have some of whatever he's smoking.
So that is it for this minute. I honestly can't believe I got to 20 episodes of this sheer insanity. Thank you for coming along for the ride, those who have done. Please be sure to like, share, subscribe to the Facebooks and the YouTubes and all the other stuff. I do have Ko-Fi and Patreon. That's like flogging a dead horse, but maybe someone wants to buy a dead horse. And if anyone is in the market for a horse of the dead persuasion, hit me up. I have a dead horse to sell, I guess. It's called my algorithm rating. But no, pretty much, just please, comment, like, share. Please help me build this audience. Let me know if you're enjoying this or not. Any feedback is good feedback, unless it's just like, you suck. No, it's not really good feedback, and that's not even good criticism. That's just like an opinion. Well, I don't really suck. I mean, I suck and then I blow out. That's called breathing, I guess. Hopefully by the time this comes out, I will have this finally up on Apple Podcasts, so leave me a review there. Just, you can see right now it's submitted for review. It's pending. It's got a yellow dot. I've also got RoboCop minutes currently going on called 60 Seconds to Comply. That's my 2-minute podcast. And check me out on Fanboy Crossing on Facebook and all that. I've also got 60 seconds to comply and Kung Pounds the Minute are also on Facebook. So just do all that. Just do all that. But most importantly, I hope you're all doing well and you and your family are keeping well in this absolutely diuretic year. And I hope my dumb, insane podcast is giving you a little bit of a giggle now and again. So until next time, keep safe and I'll see you later.